This is the White Tiger Knight channel. Quick update for the channel here real quick. This is the Mosin the Gaunt 9130, my bad. And from J&G Sales, I paid extra for the bore select. I'm going to go over a lot of the details and basically what you get with that, more full review on that. This is just a quick update on what's coming. This is the NC Stars, the cheap 2-to-7 scope. Then I'm going to go ahead and pop on here and show the installation and everything else with that. I got a brass stacker, which allows me to use the iron sights and actually place the scope on top of that. So I'll go over everything that comes with that and a lot of the installation with this. Then I also have the butt plate there. That's pretty self-explanatory. And I got this little trigger group from Amazon. Most of the stuff is from Amazon again, so it's pretty cheap. So I think most people might be able to benefit from the value, some of the value here. And this is a little trigger job kit for about 99 cents actually that I got just to hopefully to see if it'll work, and the washer, we'll see how that goes in there. So coming up next is just the main video here, mainly about the MainePrepper being CoIntelPro and other channels talking about giving their guns away. Should not listen to them, and this is very dangerous and slippery slope rhetoric. One more thing is hopefully as the day progresses, I'll be able to upload the video that shows the winner for the knife giveaway that I got going on. So if you guys stay tuned, this is the last day basically to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Again, I don't make any money from AdSense. I don't make any money from YouTube. I've been kicked off AdSense twice, so I'm just gonna try to get some factual, straightforward, real deal, no BS stuff on my channel, and you can go ahead and check it out if you're interested and you get a chance to win 8 knives. So this is the last day. Just go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I have a really interesting way, I think, of going through that contest. It's going to be coming up pretty quick. I'm going to be uploading it soon. So appreciate it. Dun dun dun! The White Tiger Knight. Oh, the big bad guns. Gotta take them away. Gotta take them away. Oh no. Look at the magazines. They're so scary. Oh, it's so horrible. Anyway, this is a video for some of the people out there that are talking about complying or basically giving your guns away, thinking that the rationale is somehow if you give your gun away, you'll be able to get it back later, even though they state examples where in previous gun confiscations, such as Louisiana during Katrina, many guns were taken that were never returned. They simply vanished. They were never put in evidence, and the people never got them back. And they're extremely expensive and extremely valuable, and a lot of these people got them stolen by the police, by the government. So why would you think, as a prerequisite, giving them away is going to help you get more later? It's the stupidest precedent I've ever heard, and it's kind of retarded, because giving them away simply means they're going to be able to take more later. I mean, that's the followed precedent. And the main channel I'm speaking about is the MainePrepper. So the MainePrepper has videos such as Preppers Will Die and basically wants you to give your guns away. He has a recent video talking about the concept where if somebody comes to take your guns, you should just go ahead and give them, say, a small handgun or something else, and claim that, oh, yeah, you can have this one, but I'm just going to go ahead and keep the 20 left that I have in my back vault there. And oh, by the way, don't miss the safe on your way in when you're searching my house and residence. Oh, and by the way, never mind, all the massive paperwork trail that is behind many people whenever they purchase one of these. For example, if you ever go and get a firearm transferred through an FFL, people talk about registration as if it's non-existent. That firearm is registered in your name. If you've ever been arrested by a police officer, they can actually scan the serial number, and it comes up with you. And obviously, and conversely, they can scan you and find out what serial numbers are associated with your name in the database, obviously. So, I mean, registration actually in many ways exists currently under the FFL transfer laws that exist in the country. If you ever buy a gun from a dealer legally with an FFL, you're gonna have it registered in your name. Okay, and they're gonna have your driver's license, which has your current address. Okay, your current address with your name and driver's license and your weapon with serial number, type, make, model, serial number, everything is registered to your name and your address. So they know exactly where and who has all of these guns. Everybody talks as if they don't, and they currently do. The main thing and the best way, which many channels talk about, which I think are good channels, which I'll mention. Many, for example, Military Arms channel is a great channel. Lots of channels. The Weapons Education channel talks about really great things. Again, I think Hickok 45 has been pretty supportive. And unfortunately, I think Nut and Fancy has actually done a fairly okay job, even though I'm definitely not, I got a lot more to say bad things probably about Nut and Fancy's big head and big ego and everything else. But anyway, basically, the concept that you give away guns to get guns in the future is retarded. It doesn't make any sense. And anybody that's supporting any kind of pandering, which I think is great, the Military Arms channel talks about this, it's progressive. If you support one band, then the next band comes along, people will be more willing to support it. And then the next band, and then the next band, and then the next band, on and on and on and on, as they continue grabbing for basically everything. So if you allow one small step, basically the concept is, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. And their concept is, if you give them an inch, you might as well just give them that inch. Oh, and by the way, in giving them that inch, you're going to save that mile that they typically take. So it's kind of nonsensical. But again, many people ask questions about registration and where, these databases possibly could be that actually have you on their weapons lists. And one good way of avoiding that is through private transfers and private sales. When most people talk about, having guns that are technically, not registered, or that registration is not necessarily required, is mainly through private firearm sales. If you buy, say, from an individual, you don't necessarily have to do a background check, okay, and you don't have to basically get an FFL transfer. You can do an individual sale currently, I think in most states. It really depends on your state. And certain, individual sales that don't have FFL transfers typically will have a gun bill of sale, but even without a bill of sale or a paper trail, you potentially could own firearms that aren't registered in your name. Unfortunately, if you ever get pulled over by a cop or someone ever tries to search you for that, and you have weapons that are not registered in your name, that's actually an issue and a big problem. I've had experience where cops have literally, I've had my guns impounded by the police for over a year, in a regular traffic incident where the guy pulled me out of my car. I had my gun in my glove box. He took it and impounded it for a year as evidence that wasn't even, I couldn't even get it out. And eventually they just gave it back. But I got it out of there. But basically, luckily, it was registered in my name. If it wasn't registered in my name, I would have to obviously prove that I have it through a gun bill of sale. So most of the concepts are, if you buy a weapon without paperwork, they can't trace it. But by the way, if they find it and you don't have paperwork for that weapon, you're effed. So people need to keep that in mind as well. And you definitely need to have all of the paperwork associated with any kind of weapon that you even own, because I think there's major issues associated with that. So, even if it's a private, bill of sale that just proves that, you paid, this gun, because if they search this, they're going to find the person that it belongs to, the person that the serial number is registered to through FFL, say when they bought it. So if they find it, say, in your house, they're going to say, okay, well, this is someone else's gun. Why do you have their gun? And you're going to have to produce a bill of sale or something that proves that you have rightful ownership of it. So, especially in order to keep it, that's just common sense. I think most people don't really think that through. But basically, I think it's important that the best way to possibly avoid, currently under current law, if that's possible for you, is to go through, I think, private transfers, at least have a bill of sale, I think, but at least you don't have to have the FFL registered necessarily in your name if you're really worried about them trying to trace or actually be able to track the weapons that you have. Another thing that I spoke about before is many shooting ranges. Basically, many shooting ranges that you go will actually require you to give them your driver's license. They take copies of your driver's license, and they know exactly who you are, what your name is, where you live, your date of birth, height, weight, everything else, every distinguishing characteristic that a police would ever need to actually find you and get your guns, basically, per se, if this is ever the case. And they know exactly what kind of guns you bring through there. And there's typically police officers at the place, inspecting the entire situation. Unless it's, other states where it's, not necessarily so populated, but at least in my state, I know that's definitely the case. In a lot of states, that is the case. Obviously, if you're going to shoot in the freaking woods, you'd be okay, but that's just not practical for a lot of people that live in urban areas. So, people I think need to distinguish the difference than per se, say Tennessee out in the woods shooting in your backyard, and living in a freaking residential city and actual urban areas with multiple people around. It's a big difference. So anyway, and a lot of the laws are different accordingly, and you need to make sure that you know about the laws in your area. Anyway, I apologize for making this really long. This is basically just to give people some insight on some of the questions people have had on some of these channels, and to know that no, people should not be giving in. They shouldn't be giving in. If someone comes to take your gun, don't expect to give them one gun and get away with the 5 guns you have in the back. They're going to search your house. They're going to take them. And anybody that tells you that you should do that, you shouldn't follow them. You shouldn't pay attention to them. I unsubscribe to these people because that's just ridiculous. That's dangerous, slippery slope rhetoric, and you can tell that through this rhetoric. There's another agenda going on here, and it's basically a thought agenda, basically, and mind games. Basically, they're playing with people to try to sell you on these ideas. It's a soft sell or something, especially if somebody is part of your group, or you think they're part of your group and you think they're doing good things for you. Obviously, these people always do good things, and then they slip in their secret little agendas there every here and there, now and then, to basically get you to believe their point of view. You see, they get you to basically buy in to their freaking concept slowly, such as, oh, if somebody comes to take your guns, oh, I'll just give them this Mosin here. Here, this is my bolt-action rifle. This is all I got. Oh, don't worry about this, this AR-15, semi-auto AR-15, oh, with a couple 30-round mags attached there. Yeah, don't worry about this, this quote-unquote assault rifle, which it's not. Just a, souped-up sporter, basically a souped-up semi-auto hunting rifle. Really, it's a copycat, basically. I mean, it's nowhere even near the potential of an actual assault rifle. So, and I think most people know that. Especially not this one. I mean, this one's, not really, the greatest thing in the world. It's a, run-of-the-mill, what most people have, a budget, a fairly affordable AR-15, which they sell a lot of, and it's nowhere near military quality or grade or even functionality. So it's just idiotic to think of this as an assault rifle, because really it's just it's a target shooter. I mean, it's a pinpoint. And it's a good for personal defense and home defense, but at the end of the day, it's just a souped-up pea shooter hunting rifle that resembles, the function, I guess the ergonomic functionality of, a tactical rifle, basically, without having any of the quality issues, quality control, materiality, functionality, or really any of the main components that create a modern assault rifle in the military sense. So, and most people in the military obviously know about that, and most people that know anything about guns know about that. It's mostly just other people that really don't and associate these because they look the same. So, I mean, you can't really blame them for that, but they need to get educated. So anyway, basically, stay away from the whole concept that you should give your guns away. Apologize for making this video super long. So just wrapping up here, come on. Don't give an inch, they'll take a mile. Let's try to fight these things, especially the 10 magazine gun ban. 10 round magazine gun ban is just retarded. That's coming in the House and the Senate and the Congress and everything else. Probably this week. People need to, get involved, watch some of the channels, especially the military arms channel. I'll have links to channels below this. I'm going to attach them as I can. Hopefully you can look at those channels and stay away from these people talking about, oh, let's just go ahead and give in so, we can compromise and, everyone's going to feel better and, we can pretend that that's going to help us in the future. I really don't think it is. So, watch out for the wolf in sheep's clothing. Peace out. Keep up the fight, and remember, it's a democratic republic, and the republic means that there's inalienable rights that the democratic hordes cannot take from you. If this was a democracy, we'd be effed. The only hope we have lies in the republic. Peace out.